Good morning, guys, and welcome back to the channel. It's Mark with Red Star Loft. We are starting straight from location, doing a pigeon toss first and foremost today. We've got him out to about 31 miles, and this is actually the US 41 drag strip. Very familiar with this place, spent my high school years here, so I know exactly where it is and what it's like. So they are gonna do 30 miles today, and it's kind of the toss is serving a couple of purposes today. I'll go talk about those more when I get home, but yeah, just getting the birds back on track. You know, once they came back from that 105-mile toss, I only ended up losing, luckily, you know, 5 or 6 birds at the most, and I did spoil them a little and let them splurge, and quite a few of them actually did get fat, and it was noticeable as I was basketing them a couple of days ago for the first toss, and it showed on the toss because they were quite slow. So we got to get them back into shape, trim them down. It shouldn't take too long, and yeah, we'll be back on track with them. So it's a really nice day today. There's no wind, there's not a single cloud in the sky, and it's about low 70s, maybe 72 degrees. It's really nice, so should not be any difficulties when it comes to flying. You know, just hoping for the best. Like I said, they did a toss on Saturday, and granted it was windy that day, it still should have taken much less than what it took. They came in a couple groups, so they were struggling a little bit, but we'll get them back on track. You know, we only have less than a few weeks. We've got about, what's today? We have yeah, about 2.5 weeks before the first race. So, you know, we got to get the birds to top form. So they've been here long enough. They've seemed to have calmed down. I think that we can release them. I'll wait another 10-20 seconds. It sounds like there's a car. Sounds like there's a car coming down one of these streets, which is rare in and of itself. These little country roads anybody barely ever passes through, but yeah, there's definitely a car coming. So yeah, we'll see how they do. I've got the stopwatch ready, so there goes the car. And here go the birds. Oh, there we go. Everybody's out over the fence. There we go. The group is together. Let's get past this tree. They're directly behind the tree, coming up overhead. Oh, gotta start the stopwatch. All right. That's the direction they should be going. Straight that way. That way is home, so I'll watch them for another minute at the most, and then pack it up and go home, but hopefully they won't take too long today. Yeah, some of these things are happening at a really bad time. Now when my birds should be in the best of shape, they've fallen behind, so gotta play catch up, gotta do this and that, but it is what it is. Gotta play with the cards you're dealt with, so I'm sure it's not gonna be a huge obstacle, but it's definitely an obstacle, and you know, not a super necessary one. But the focus is off there. Alright guys, we'll let the birds do what they do, circle around a little bit, find their way home, and then as I get back home I will catch up with you. and talk about something else. Alright, here we are. As always, you can tell haven't even had the opportunity to get their water done just yet, but looks like if not all, then the vast majority of the birds did make it back in a good time, about 50 minutes. So let me find a nice spot to look at them. We'll see if they land right away. Hasn't been the longest toss, but then again, they're still not in 100% shape. That's how you know they're not tired yet, because when they're tired and hungry, they don't go for that tree. But if they are not, then yeah, they'll take their time and they'll fly around. But anyway, as I mentioned before, one of the things that I've also doing today is I'm deworming them after that toss, and you know, birds being missing for 3-4 days, and just me suspecting that some of them do need to be dewormed to begin with. I'm going to give them a treatment today. This is what I give them: Vermisol that I get from Vitaking, and basically it says on here, do not feed 24 hours before and 4 hours after. So the last time the birds ate was actually about 26 hours ago. Yeah, they're not in a big hurry. 26 hours ago. So I removed their water last night when the night fell, so they haven't drank water since last night. And I've pre-mixed the powder. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to give them the dewormer now, and then when I come home for my lunch break, which will be about 4 or 5 hours after they've gotten their water, that's when I'll feed them. So they should be nice and thirsty now, and then after they eat, they should by the end of the day they should polish off that gallon of water. So give me a second, let me just pour the powder into this, and I'll be back with you guys as I go to check in on them. Alright, we are ready to resume. As you can tell, they're still hanging, some birds are still hanging out, but they're going back on a much stricter regimen as of today. But yeah, basically half the reason, as I said, for this toss was I wanted the birds to get nice and thirsty. They're waiting for water already. I wanted them to get nice and thirsty so that they drink their medicine, and that's exactly what we wanted. Come on in. There's nothing worse than having to give birds medication in the water and them not wanting to drink much water that day, and then you feel like you've wasted medication and haven't treated the birds. So like I said, I'm not gonna feed them now. I'll be back here on my lunch break, which was now it's 8:55. I'll be back here at 2 o'clock. I'll feed them then. They shouldn't even be that hungry yet, so just wanted them to get a nice chug of water, and then obviously after they eat, they're also gonna be thirsty as well. So don't have a food can to shake, but those guys will be in within the next 10-15 minutes, very, very highly likely. So we'll let them do what they need to. But yeah, in terms of feed and their supplements and all of that, today is we're kind of getting back on track. They've recovered. Some of them have over recovered even a little bit, gotten fat and slightly lazy. So we're here to correct that. But yeah, there's still about 10 birds up there. So I'm gonna keep an eye on their droppings, see what that's looking like, and yeah, take it from there. So that's all I got for you guys. Quick update. Wanted to show you what I use for worming and how I give it to them. So I'll be back with you guys somewhere around the end of the week. Take care.